Everybody can reach you. They can text you, call you, message you, tag you, send you a reel, react to your story, like your picture, watch your life from a screen. They can see your highlights, where you've traveled, what you built, what you celebrated, what you looked like smiling under the right light. They can know the version of you that's easy to consume. But here's the question. Who actually knows where you're bleeding? Who knows what you're tired of pretending about? Who knows what you carry when the phone goes down? Who knows what you're afraid to say out loud? Who knows the part of you that keeps showing up for everybody else, while you secretly wonder who will show up for you? Because some of you are more reachable than ever, and more unknown than you have ever been. And that is where we begin today. Welcome back to the Eminence Legacy podcast. I'm host Luis Cadena, and this is the Sovereignty series. Stop letting the world lead you. In part 1, we said, the world can get loud, but it does not get to lead you. In part 2, we dealt with reaction. If everything can trigger you, anything can lead you. In part 3, we dealt with appetite. You keep calling it entertainment, but something is studying your appetite. Today, we deal with something quieter, something more personal, something a lot of people do not want to admit, the loneliness that can exist inside a life that looks connected. Because the danger is not only being alone, the danger is being surrounded and still never being known. So let's talk about it. The real problem is not that people are unreachable. That is not the issue. Most people are reachable all day. In the time we live, there's so many ways to get a hold of you. There's actually no time where you are unreachable. Their phone is on, their notifications are on, their messages are open, their social media is active, their calendar is full, their group chats are loud, their contacts are, their name is in people's phones, their face is on people's feeds, their presence is available. But availability is not the same as intimacy. Access is not the same as connection. Visibility is not the same as being known. And that is where the deception lives, because we have created lives where people can see more of us without actually knowing us. They can see the update, but not the burden. They can see the smile, but not the exhaustion. They can see the win, but not the weight. They can see the picture, but not the pressure. They can see the version we post, but not the version that quietly needs help. And after a while, people start mistaking exposure for relationship. They start mistaking response for care. They start mistaking likes for love. They start mistaking attention for attachment. They start mistaking an audience for an anchor. And that is dangerous, because a person can have an audience and still not have a circle. A person can have contacts and still not have covering. A person can have many followers and still not have someone they can call when the mask gets heavy. That is not connection. That is visibility with no shelter. Let me say this clean. Some of you are not lonely because nobody is around you. You are lonely because nobody has access to the real you, the authentic you. And before you blame everybody else, be careful. Because some of you trained people to only know the version of you that functions, the version that handles it, the version that keeps moving, the version that says, I'm good, the version that laughs it off, the version that gives advice, the version that shows up strong, the version that does not ask for much, the version that learned how to be useful without being honest. And I know you are frustrated that nobody sees what you never show. That is a heart mirror. You cannot keep hiding your pain and then resent people for not finding it. You cannot keep saying I'm good and then be angry that nobody knew you weren't. You cannot keep performing strength and then wonder why people keep handing you more weight. At some point, you have to ask, am I unknown because people don't care? Or because I keep giving them a version of me that does not require care? That question has teeth. Here's the first truth. Access is not connection. Just because someone can reach you does not mean they know you. Just because someone checks on you does not mean they understand you. Just because someone sees your content does not mean they are in your life. Just because someone responds quickly does not mean they can carry truth with you. And just because you are available does not mean you are vulnerable. That is the difference. Availability says, you can reach me. Vulnerability says, you can see me. Availability keeps the conversation open. Vulnerability lets truth enter the conversation. Availability can still perform, while vulnerability has to tell the truth. And some people hide behind availability because vulnerability feels too expensive. They answer messages, but dodge honesty. They keep conversations going, but never let them go deeper. They are present enough to be seen, but guarded enough to stay hidden. They are active but not open, reachable but not revealed. And then they wonder why the connection feels so shallow. Because shallow connections is often what happens when access replaces honesty. Now, let me stop you right there, because I know what you're thinking. Some of you have been calling yourself private. Some of you call yourself introverts. When the truth is, you have been hiding. There's a difference. Privacy is wisdom. Hiding is fear. Privacy protects what is sacred. Hiding protects what is wounded. Privacy has boundaries. Hiding has walls. Privacy chooses who gets access. Hiding refuses to let anyone in. And if you do not know the difference, you will call isolation maturity. You will call cautiousness discernment. And all the while, you will be starving for connection while defending the very walls that keep you away. That is not sovereignty. That is self-protection wearing a crown. And yes, you may have reasons to. You may have been betrayed. You may have trusted the wrong people. You may have opened up before and got punished for it. You may have learned the hard way that not everybody can handle your truth. And believe me, I know. Because I've been there. I've lived it. And that matters. But pain does not get to become the architect of every wall you built. If pain designed the wall, wisdom needs to inspect it. Because some walls are no longer protecting you. Those walls have become your prison. Being seen is not the same as being known. That is one of the biggest lies people are living under. They think because people see their life, people know their life. No. They see the surface. They see the highlights. They see the performance. They see the face you chose to show. They see the version that was curated, polished, and safe. But being known requires more than being visible. Being known requires truth. It requires allowing someone to see what does not photograph well. The fear, the doubt, the weariness, the grief, the insecurity, the anger, the confusion. The part of you that does not have a language yet. The part of you that is still healing. The part of you that is tired of being the strong one. That is why being known feels risky, because being seen can still be controlled. You decide what they see. You decide the angle. You decide the caption. You decide how much gets revealed. You are the one in control of what they see. But being known, that requires surrender. That requires trust. That requires letting somebody close enough to see what you cannot manage into perfection. And for some of you, that is terrifying. It scares you because you built your identity on being composed, reliable, strong, capable, needed, helpful, wise, successful, well put together. And now the thought of someone seeing the unfinished part of you feels like a threat. It scares you. But here's the truth. If nobody can see the unfinished part of you, then nobody can truly help you build. So let's make this personal. Who knows the real version of you right now? Not the public version, not the useful version, not the funny version, not the productive version, not the spiritual sounding version, not the version that says I'm good before anyone can ask twice. Who knows what is actually heavy? Who knows what has been bothering you? Who knows where you feel weak? Who knows what you are afraid to admit? Who knows the thing you kept carrying because you do not want to burn anyone or anybody? Who knows what you have been praying about when nobody is around? Who knows where you are tempted to quit? Who knows what part of your life feels like it is costing more than people realize? And if the answer is nobody, then don't just call that strength. Call it what it is, a warning, a red flag, because a life with no honest witnesses will eventually make eternal bleeding feel normal. You start managing the hemorrhage. You organize your day around the wound. You start performing around the emptiness. You start functioning around the loneliness. And then one day you realize everybody had access to you, but nobody had entrance. That is the mirror. You can be surrounded and still unsupported. That is the part that confuses people. And then you wonder where everybody's at because they think loneliness always looks like isolation. Sometimes it does, but sometimes loneliness looks busy. Sometimes loneliness has a full calendar. Sometimes loneliness has unread messages. Sometimes loneliness has group chats. Sometimes loneliness is standing in the room where everybody knows your name, but nobody knows your burden. Sometimes loneliness is being needed by many and known by few. Sometimes loneliness is having people depend on you while you have no place to fall apart safely. That is a dangerous place to live because when you are always needed but rarely known, you start believing your value is tied to what you provide. And that will make you resent the same people you kept serving, not because they are evil, but because the arrangement became unhealthy. You kept giving usefulness when what you needed was connection. You kept offering strength when what you needed was honesty. You kept showing up as the answer when what you needed was a safe place to be human, a safe place to hurt, a safe place to speak out, a safe place to feel like home. And if you never correct that arrangement, you will keep being surrounded by people and still feel emotionally homeless. Here's the hard line. Stop confusing attention with connection. Attention watches you. Connection knows you. Attention reacts. Connection responds. Attention can be curious. Connection is committed. Attention wants access. Connection carries responsibility. Attention can disappear when you stop performing. Connection stays when the truth gets heavy. And some of you are starving for connection, but living off attention. That is why it never satisfies. Attention can make you feel seen for a moment, but it cannot hold you when life gets heavy. Attention can validate the image, but it cannot heal the wound. Attention can clap for your strength, but it cannot sit with your weaknesses. And if you keep feeding on attention, you will always need more of it. More views, more likes, more responses, more messages, more reactions, more proof that somebody noticed, more validation. But connection is different. Connection does not just notice you. Connection knows how to sit with you. That is what many people are missing. Not more access, not more contacts, not more followers, not more noise. They are missing a place where they can be known without performing. There's a reason scripture talks so much about body. Community, burdens, confessions, encouragement. Brothers, sisters, one another. Because you were not built to carry everything alone. And yes, there are seasons where you have to stand strong on your own. Yes, There are places where you have to be wise with your access. Yes, not everybody deserves your truth, but isolation cannot become your identity. You can be strong and still need people. You can be faithful and still need encouragement. You can be called and still need covering. You can lead and still need someone who can ask, how are you really doing? And have enough relationships to know when your answer is fake. Look at the pattern. Crowds got his attention, multitudes got his service, but only a few got his truth. Not everyone deserves the same access, but someone needs real access. If nobody does, you are not just private. You are exposed in a different way, exposed in pride, exposed in isolation, exposed in discouragement, exposed to the lie that you have to carry everything on your own. And that lie will wear you down quietly. So what do? We do not blame the world. We do not blame social media. We do not blame people for not knowing what we never showed. We take ownership, responsibility. Here's a move. Number one, identify who has access but no depth. Look at your life honestly. Who can reach you but not really know you? Who gets your time but not your truth? Who gets your energy but not your honesty? Who gets your usefulness but not your heart? This is not about cutting everyone off. This is about understanding the difference between contact and connection. Some people belong in the contact category. That is fine, but do not mistake them for covering. Number two, choose one safe person and tell a deeper truth, not your whole life story, not every wound, not recklessly vulnerability. One deeper truth. Tell someone, I have been more tired than I've admitted. I have been carrying something I haven't talked about. I'm struggling with this. I need prayer. I need advice. I need to stop pretending I'm good. One honest sentence can break the performance. And sometimes connection begins when the first fake answer dies. Number three, stop performing. Strength where honesty is required. There are rooms where you need to be strong, but there are also rooms where you need to be honest. Stop confusing the two. If every room requires performance, you do not have a circle. You have a stage. And nobody can heal on a stage. Find a room where you can tell the truth. Build the relationship where truth is safe. Become the kind of person who can hold the truth for others too. Because connection is not just something you receive, it is something you practice. Here is your 24-hour pressure test. In the next 24 hours, send one honest message, not dramatic, not messy, not attention seeking, an honest one. Send it to someone who has earned enough trust to receive it. Say, I have been carrying more than I have been saying. Or maybe you could say, I need to talk soon. I'm working through something and I do not want to keep pretending I'm fine. Or even, can you check on me this week for real? That may sound simple, but for the strong person, that text message is a deployment because you are used to being reachable, but not revealed. You are used to answering, but not opening. You are used to showing up, but not being seen. So take one step, just one step, one honest message, one real conversation, one crack in the performance. Because legacy builders do not just build strong lives, they build honest ones. Legacy builders, this is your checkpoint. Are you connected or just reachable? Are you known or just visible? Are you supported or are you just surrounded? Are you in a community or just in contact? Are you hiding behind being busy? Are you hiding behind being useful? Are you hiding behind being private? Are you hiding behind being strong? And where do you need to let truth enter the room? Not everyone deserves access, but someone needs access. Someone needs to know what has been heavy. Someone needs to know where you have been bleeding. Someone needs to know when your "I'm good" is not the truth, because a life with no honest witnesses will eventually become a life where pain gets managed instead of healed. Before we close, if this episode found you in a place you have been hiding, do not just nod and disappear. If you're listening to this on a web browser or a link, or someone texted you this podcast, do not let this be a temporary visit. Hit follow right now on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Legacy builders do not just visit truth, they stay connected to it. And if this message made you think of someone who's always showing up, strong, reliable, but may not have a place to be honest, send it to them. No explanation. Just send it and say, listen to this one. And on Thursdays, lock in with Midnight Questions. Core episodes wake the room up, but Midnight Questions help you sit with what the noise has been covering. Different rhythm, same truth. Don't miss it. Now let's lock this in. Being reachable is not the same as being known. Access is not connection. Visibility is not intimacy. Attention is not love. Being surrounded does not always mean being supported. And strength without honesty can become a beautiful cage. So stop hiding behind availability. Stop performing strength where honesty is required. Choose one safe person. Tell one deeper truth. Build something real. Because legacy builders are not called to live visible and unknown. They're called to build lives with truth, authority, connection, and covering. There are things in this season we are going to keep confronting. Not because we're trying to make people afraid of the world, but because we refuse to let the world define what is normal. And one of the most dangerous things becoming normal is being constantly connected and deeply unknown, but not legacy builders. We do not confuse attention with connection. We do not confuse visibility for intimacy. We do not confuse access for covering. We do not let pride call isolation strength. We do not let pain build walls that wisdom never approved. So this week, let somebody real know something real. One honest sentence break the performance. Let one safe person get past the version of you that only knows how to function. Because the world can't reach you. The crowd can watch you. The feed can't see you. But none of that means you are known. And if everybody can reach you, but nobody knows where you're bleeding, it may be time to stop calling that strength. This is the Eminence Legacy Podcast. I'm Jose Luis Cadena. And remember, together, let's rise to our eminence. Catch you in the next one.